Hello, a cluttered vanity. I have so many things here, but today we are talking about the new RMS quads. New. I mean, they have been released 2-3 months ago, and you may have seen the usual list of videos that are all the same when something has been released. But nobody talked about this color story that is the Celestial Dream. These are eyeshadows that are made in Italy. The brush is made in China. Shelf life of 24 months after the opening. And these are the colors, which are the dream for olive skin tones because we have a greenish taupe, more on the yellowish side, but with olive quality. I love this color story, and I have a video where I talked extensively about these. These eyeshadows are, in my opinion, from what I have experienced, I can see them as the equivalent of the blushes. These are eyeshadow colors in a very similar formula of blushes and bronzers that are my favorite. As I told you before, I think the RMS has very fair prices. And on top of that, these things are permanent, so you can wait for a sale, and is what I did. And spoiler alert, I liked it so much that I regretted not to have bought the other quad that was on sale on Niche Beauty. I bought also the other quad, even if those are less my colors, but I think they had versatility, and I can use the other color story on my face as well. So treat this as a portable face palette. It's not the case for these ones, but for sure is the case for the other color story. Back to these eyeshadows. So we can see here a nice olivey taupe, but on me is more yellowish taupe. Then we have this more, wow, it's very nice. It looks more red on the pen, more peach. Is a rose gold. Is the shine is more prominent compared to this one. And then we have a brown, but again is a yellowish brown. Wow, fantastic. And finally we have a charcoal gray. This is a taupe palette, guys, because everything is desaturated. These colors are unique, especially these ones. So we will compare them with what I think is close. So here's what Tom Ford calls wet and dry formula. The characteristic of these ones, this specific RMS ones, is that I don't see them to be glittery. These are shiny. This one, the second one, this one is more on the metallic side, so the finish can change a bit. So this one and this one are more on the satin type of eyeshadows, less metallic. This is more metallic, and also this one is quite metallic, a little bit less shiny compared to this one. But you can see that none of these have glitter particles that are very trendy right now. So in Tom Ford or other brands, I see more and more glitters, while these one are just shimmery but with no visible glitter particles. Let's see on my arm how they look like. This one is Botanic Melody, that as you can see is more yellow than green on me. Then we have a Sweetest Flame here, most metallic one. And then we have Sand Castle, that is the brown. Wow, very nice. And finally, Dark and Stormy. I can already tell that I don't have anything like this. For sure has a charcoal gray base, but the reflects are on the purplish, more on the bluish side, blue-purple. I have to say I'm so happy about this. This was my favorite color story out of all the quads, and is the only one that I have right now. But as I said, a second one is coming, and I think I will eventually buy at least a third one, the one with the purple. These are the colors on natural lighting, and let's compare them. The closest thing I can think of are the limited editions by Dior Chanel, who propose every now and then this Argelé formula. So this is the Mediterranean. And yeah, I can see two colors that can be similar. So one is this taupe, that is my favorite from this palette, but it's different. So this is more, it has more pink, while this one stays more yellow beige, golden beige, with more desaturation, with more gray. A tinge of olive here as well. The finish of the Chanel one is more metallic, closer to this one. There's a slight variation. The Chanel ones are a little bit more powdery compared to the RMS, depends on the composition. This one, yeah, is a darker. This is my favorite color of this palette. Is darker, but it is more on this family. So I will put it here. Wow. So this is a little bit less pigmented, the RMS one. So I need to reinforce the swatch to show you better the color. But you get the how it translates on the skin. Wow, this is my favorite color family, and I'm so happy to have another example. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would like to compare it to the Kiko, this one, that is a yeah, desaturated taupe as well. Let's put the Kiko here. So yeah, this is less unique because it's more on the yeah, pinkish side. But this is quite unique. And this was also unique from Chanel as well. Now, let's switch to this other RMS one. Yeah, I was thinking to compare it to this palette by Tom Ford. It's called Soleil d'Hiver. And there's a rose gold color here, that I think looks quite similar to the one by RMS here. And this will be the comparison. And as you can see, the RMS has more gray. So I love the tones, how they chose the colors, because there's a degree of desaturation. They are quite unique in this formula. While the Tom Ford one is brighter, peachier, less gray compared to this one. So this leans a bit on the mauvish side and makes it more sophisticated. With this brown, yeah, it's difficult to tell. I have multiple browns in this formula, Tom Ford, but these are more on the reddish side. Let's compare this. I'm curious. But these by Tom Ford are darker, so let's put it here. You see, it's cooler toned. It's more gray, not something like this. But I also have. This is, I think, is cooler tone as well. Yeah, this is even more comparable to the darkest shade. This was an iconic quad by Tom Ford, Double Indemnity. It's even closer to this darkest shade by RMS, but it lacks that blue shift. So these are two dark browns from Tom Ford Body Heat and Tom Ford Double Indemnity. But they are, as I said, closer to this one. This brown, let me see that Tom Ford Soleil d'Hiver again. This brown here, maybe closer. Let me swatch it here. Yes, indeed, it's closer now. These two are by Tom Ford Soleil d'Hiver, and as you can see, these two by RMS are, this especially is more mauvish, more gray. This is quite close to the Tom Ford Soleil d'Hiver. If you missed this quad, it was an iconic quad from 2019, so it's quite old at this point. You can have a more desaturated version with the RMS. And also, if you miss Chanel Mediterranean, you can have something in the same color family in this RMS palette. And again, this blue one is quite unique. Has a bluish purple tinge, but charcoal as a base. So these are the comparisons. Note that I also try to match the finish. Very similar formula, but also the finish is very close. Different degrees of shine, but they are all smooth. And this is my favorite finish that unfortunately is something that was more common to find years ago, but nowadays is harder to find because nowadays the trend is towards something more glittery. We have the Chantecaille elephant that has glitter sparkles. And I want to show you the difference, but I will put maybe here. Sparkles are finer in this case, so it's still refined. So it's more gray compared to all the other ones. So maybe it's closer to this part, but it's also different because this is shinier. But I hope you can notice the specks, the golden glitters. It makes this more neutral, but overall is more glittery compared to these other ones. And going towards the glittery side, this Patrick Ta, this is a glitter bomb, you see. The glitters here are chunkier. I will put it here. You can see how different it is. So this is more crumbly. And even in the latest Tom Ford, you can see more of this type of finish. Why? Because, it has more impact. People are impressed by how shiny they are, but they are also coarser. So it's a different type of effect. These Patrick Ta are not for every day for me, but the other ones are. So is the finesse on how fine is the shimmer and how smooth they look on the skin that makes these superior compared to something like the Patrick Ta. So the formula is still the hard gelée, but here you have sparkles. All of the eyeshadows that I showed you as comparison, so the Tom Ford, 3 Tom Ford and Chanel are all discontinued. So if nowadays you want that refined hard gelée, RMS is the way to go, and the price point is fantastic because these are on the 50 euros range and you can find them discounted. So I paid 37 euros for this one, and at this price point, is half the price compared to a Tom Ford one, less than half the price, and even much more less compared to Chanel. Very good value, and of course the packaging is more basic, but it's practical, you know. There's a mirror, you have here a space that you can use for the brush, so they become truly portable. The brush is usable, is functional. You will see on the demo, I use them in the demo. Both ends are very practical. Even if they fit here, the size is great. And you can also depot these eyeshadow. They are made to be detached and rearranged. Let me try not to without doing anything. So they're just a clip. And there's also, nice touch, the name of the shade on the back. So fantastic. You don't have this well-thought concept when it comes to the luxury brands because these are made to stay in their case. They can be depotted, but it becomes difficult. The risk is also to damage everything, so I didn't try, although I love depotting my things. But I didn't try for these ones. I didn't want to ruin them. But with RMS you can. I love the concept. It's a bit bulky, but it's practical for traveling. They did a great job with these, and these deserve more attention because they are truly gems, with the caveat of having more a collection of one and done. But for me, this is a great color collection for a makeup enthusiast that has a lot and can pair, for example, my Holy Grail highlighter here from Flower Nose that I was using more recently, because to me this is the equivalent of, you know, that Lisa Eldridge balm, but in a powder form that melts on the skin. You see how beautiful it is. This is a masterpiece and is even drugstore. I mean, mid-range, to be honest. The prices of the Flower Nose is not truly drugstore, but you see my point. You have highlighters or things that you can pair with these and make a cohesive look. But of course, you need something else. But the thing that these can be depotted and rearranged, mix and match, will allow me, for example, to remove this one. That is something that I will use rarely and replace it with a highlighter shade, you know? And this would be my perfect taupe palette. This is the taupe palette I had in my mind. So this is escalating and can become an holy grail soon, especially with the tweak of removing a dark shade with a highlighter. Or maybe not, or maybe I will leave it like this and just use another highlighter like this fantastic one. Last thing, the quantity, 4.8 grams, so is more than double the weight of this one. These are 2 grams by Chanel, cost more and are 2 grams. And these ones, yeah, the weight differs, okay, but these are 6 grams, but I don't think they are always 6 grams. This is 6 grams as well. Maybe now are 7 point, this is 6 grams as well. So I don't have the newest one because I already have all the colors I wanted, and some of the new ones by Tom Ford are just repeated color stories, and I have, for example, Easy Sensuality, I have it already in the old packaging. I'm fine with it. So I don't have the new ones, but I think the weight maybe now is even more, 7 grams, 7.5. These ones that I have are all 6 grams, but these are 4.8 grams. So the quantity is there, quality is fantastic. No rush, you can plan, these are permanent, but they are worth it. They are high quality. So let's try these eyeshadows. I'm very curious about this color here. And I will use the brush that comes with it. That is perfect because the sponge applicator is what is needed for such a hard jelly formula to give the same effect of fingers. I don't like to use fingers when I do my makeup, just because I don't think I can be very precise. So this is that first yellowish taupe color. I didn't have prime my eyes, so I just want to see on bare skin how they look. Yeah, beautiful. A satin type of sheen, not overly metallic, I mean. And yeah, I like that slight yellowish effect that I think it emphasizes the amber, the yellow on my eyes, and I like that effect. So I'm very glad I waited for this palette. I can try the darkest shade in the palette, this one here. And to do so, I will use the point of the included brush and gives that smoky effect. Yes, so the only thing that this palette is lacking is a light color for the inner corner. I usually don't use it. As I said, I think about this palette as a collection of one and done shades. I will use the second to darkest color, this one, and use this color to, yeah, just complete the look under the eyes to make it more cohesive. Yeah, I love it. This shade, let's say this yellowish taupe, I will use it also in the crease lightly. So yeah, I prefer mattes with this or satin. This is a little bit too shimmery for that, but I don't mind. So it's exactly what I expected it to be. So a shiny eyeshadow, but not overly shimmery, with an elegant shimmer. It looks refined on eyes. And yeah, I don't think it emphasizes a lot my texture. A little bit, you see, now that I put on my crease, I see some bumps on my crease, but I will primarily use as a lid shade. I'm waiting for the other palette so I can mix and match.